First-person shooters have come a long way since the early days of Duke Nukem and Doom, and Battlefield 3 shows us why the gaming industry has so much growth ahead of it as EA Digital Illusions brings us a spectacular game that grabs the player and says, look, this is how first-person shooters are made, deal with it. I had to throw that in there just because I like to see it. This mixture of great sound, graphics, and a multiplayer that's not only fun but addicting, Battlefield 3 sets the precedent not only for first-person shooters, but the amazing list of games that were released in 2011. If you're contemplating passing up this game because you don't know where to invest your money, hopefully I can convince you otherwise to join the millions that help make this one of the biggest selling games of the year. While I give this game a lot of praise to start, I'm going to keep giving it praise. I got to point out the one minor flaw that I thought that shouldn't distract, but at the same time should be addressed. The campaign. It follows a lot of cliches, and I saw a lot of influence from several military movies, such as number 1, Black Hawk Down. Your character is Blackburn, named after the Orlando Bloom character who played a minor role in the film, and also one of the investigators who reminded me of Glenn Morshower, who plays one of the pilots in the film. Anyway, back to the campaign. Your character is being asked about a series of events in which you're chasing down al-Bashir, and as you're uncovering the mystery of his location, you find WMDs, learn some backstory of other characters, and you lose comrades on the way. I wasn't blown away by the plot, but the voice acting was impressive and rather helped add to an okay story. Another tiny gripe that I have to address here was the enemy AI. I felt sometimes in the middle of a fight, they would be too focused on me, the player, and they would absolutely ignore my squad mates that could be standing right next to them, and they can give 2 bob seconds about them as they're trying to kill you that's hidden behind a couple of brick walls and a bunch of rocks. Anyway, that's enough of my gripes. Let's get back to the praise. Another thing that you can also do in this game is use vehicles. Yes, you've heard about this aspect probably already. In some advertisements, they say, hey, in some games you get to call the airstrike, but in Battlefield 3, you are the airstrike. You are the tank support. Flying F-18s is definitely fun, and you get to shoot enemies, drop flares, but you don't actually get to fly the plane in the campaign. It's kind of a bummer, but whatever. Alright, let's get to the bread and butter though, the multiplayer. This is where it's at. You've heard so many good things about the multiplayer that when you actually get a chance to experience it firsthand, you will be pleasantly surprised. You have game modes like the standard Team Deathmatch, but some modes like Squad Deathmatch are back from Bad Company, which is 4 squads of 4 players, along with Rush, Squad Rush, and Conquest, which opens up larger versions of the maps for an epic experience. You unlock weapons and upgrades as you go, and this will take time, so get ready to invest it. On some maps, vehicles are allowed. Just running around on a huge map like Caspian Border, I feel like an old school episode of Salute Your Shorts, if you remember that show, where they had that Camp Y water balloon fight and you had no clue what you were up against over the next hill. I also didn't feel too overwhelmed by the players who were ranked higher than myself and have been playing this game longer than I have. Yeah, my kill-to-death ratios weren't anything to boast about in some of my games, but if you know first-person shooters and you have good instincts, you can hold your own while you learn the different aspects of each match type. Overall, if you haven't picked up this game already, and I couldn't convince you otherwise, well, I tried. And shame on you! This is an excellent game, and the only tragedy is that this game came out with so many other amazing titles that came out late in 2011, and a few people out there might actually skip this title due to the fact that they don't know where to invest their money. That's okay, that's an acceptable fact, but you need to have this in your library. This will keep you busy well into 2012. This is Chandler here with GamingIllustrated.com. For more info and additional reviews, head to GamingIllustrated.com.